Podcasting.
Activate.
Yeah, see, and we're here. It'll take a bit for like it to go live over on YouTube, guy.
Yeah, but I was gonna say it there because now what we want to wait for, we're just gonna look.
That's exactly what you would do.
Mm-hmm. Right. So there we go. But at
I'm
least
glad you hit record.
You know what? I'm getting better about this whole thing. All right. It's only taking me almost 3.5 years at this point. So yeah.
3.5 years.
By the way,
oh no,
there's no good women's T-shirt for that forest green color.
Oh, I know.
they are not like there are two
I
shirts
like,
that have range of color.
That will be something that after we do this podcast and whatnot, yeah, we'll talk about.
Okay.
Yeah. And then for all of you all that are basically showing up over on the podcast, don't worry about that. You'll find out in
A month.
A week? No, in about a week.
I thought it was January.
January.
A week.
That's like a week from now.
Not yet.
My birthday's
Like
in about
a week and a half, like 2 weeks.
There we are. See,
Yeah.
2 weeks. That's almost
Alright.
14 days.
How old are you gonna be? 19?
How old are you gonna be?
I lost count.
In
I'm gonna be 22. Thank you very much.
Ah, baby.
Me and who else? Who's also close to? I'm gonna be closer to being about Mason's age. I still hate that he's older than me. I
Yeah.
really hate it. It doesn't make any sense.
in a couple months, Tyler's will be as old as I will be.
I know I think we talked about this last podcast that like there's a little bit of time that you and Tyler are the same age.
A whole
And
6
then-
And
months.
it's scary as
Yeah.
hell for Tyler.
And then all of a sudden it's like you get a little bit older, but during that time I think Candace comes into the picture for a bit.
Candace is
And then I'm just over here in November.
Candace isn't in her 30s yet.
No, I mean like right around that same birthday type area.
Well, yeah, she's in the same month as I am.
See? There you go. I know what I was talking about.
She's
Yeah,
in the
suck a
same
dick.
month as you.
when is Caden's birthday?
I don't know.
May?
He just had it.
No, is it? No, I'm
He
way
just had
off.
it not too long ago. Man. Why are you asking the
He's
person that
so
doesn't
young.
celebrate birthdays about birthdays? I know my own.
Let's find out.
Well,
since
which
none of us know.
3?
Do you have a problem with celebrating the moon?
No.
What?
What is that?
It's the whole origin of birthdays.
I don't
Celebrating
know
the moon.
It's the That's the whole reason cakes are circular, is because it's the pagan goddess of the moon.
See, growing
Money.
up, my
Wait.
cakes were
May 7th.
square or
May 7th.
rectangular.
Wait, are we saying that the only reason why cakes are circular is because the moon is circular?
Originally, yeah.
What about rectangle cakes?
Well, I
That's
mean,
just
they just start. They're
American.
just easier to make. It's
Yeah.
rectangles and circles, but
Circle
no,
cakes
originally
suck.
that's why birthday cakes were
No,
always
I would
circulars
think
because it was to
round
celebrate
cakes,
the
'cause they're-
goddess of the moon, saying thank you for another year of being alive, basically. That's why there's a religious tie to birthdays.
You know, in Star Wars, the no, watch this. No, watch this. Let me get to it. Let me get to it. The time, the time circumference of how they base time in Star Wars is the exact same on Earth. So
I'm
a year,
so frustrated.
so a
with you
year
right
for
now.
they did it that way. So, like a year is
But it's
coherent,
but it's so far away.
and a long time ago too.
Yeah,
The
like
galaxy far
somewhere
away.
really far away in a time that's not today.
they saw Earth like of when it was forming, and they're like, you know what? I like that. I like that year. That's like a nice
don't
time
like
for a
the-
year.
I don't like the things on it, but I like the rest of what they do.
Not gonna
Well, I mean,
say-
it probably just would have been a molten rock at that point.
Look, all right, in the entire Star Wars universe, I had a stupid fight with my father about this not too long ago, the fact that there probably aren't humans at the same time, like Earthlings at the same time as Star Wars. And he's like, "But the people." And I'm like, "Dad, someone from Naboo is not going to be an Earthling." And he's like, "But they're human." I'm like, "We don't know that."
To be
Humanoid.
fair, is it 100 years ago or a million or we don't know the actual range? There could have been humans technically alive during that. I'm not saying they're humans because they're most likely not, but there could have been humans during
This
that
argument,
time.
like I said, this is the same man that we got out a whiteboard to talk about the actual chronological timeline of Back to the Future. All right, and it took hours.
Yeah, it is a very
They-
confusing, complex.
In the third Back to the Future, they
Yeah.
use a chalkboard and they explain it.
They do.
I know, no, I get that,
do.
but we went stupidly geeky with certain things, like saying like, okay, knowing how fast that they've got to go and what they've actually gone over, those tire treads would not work at this time frame in this way. And what, like, this is why. And what's also bad is like he's an aerospace engineer. Well, no, aircraft pilot and mechanic as well as linguist. So it's something where he would sit there and be like, look, all right, that technology, that one specifically right there, that's possible. But it wouldn't work with this. And I'm just sitting there like, Dad, it's a movie. Okay, so it feels like I'm just rehashing all of this with you guys. All
You're
right.
welcome.
So,
Were they Goodyear tires?
what tires were they? That's a good question.
Michelin.
They were Lightyear tires, all right? That's what they were. There you go. Well,
He must know something. If you know the tire brand,
Well,
you
if-
must
if-
have gone
if-
into
if
this.
Speaking
in
of
depth.
time, you know Blade Runner, we're past Blade Runner time.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Blade Runner is now in the past.
Blade Runner was always in the past.
It was in the future. Last
was-
month it was in the future.
The time setting for Blade Runner just passed. The movie has always been in the past, except for right after it. No, when it comes out, it's technically in the past, even a second later.
But presently,
F you to everything that you're thinking right now.
I have so much I could say.
back to far, far away a long time ago.
Speaking of, of Star Wars and whatnot, this is the weekend that the movie, the new movie just came out. I can't even remember
Rise
the name
of
of it.
Skywalker.
See, there we go. Okay, and like Uber wise, I've been doing nothing but dropping people off at a movie theater or picking them up right after seeing it. And weirdly, I've not gotten the movie spoiled for me at all.
I feel like most people generally just wouldn't spoil it, especially that early on, because it's like that's really shitty.
It premiered
But,
2 days ago.
but I know that a lot of me and my friends, after we get out, are talking about it. So if we were to get into Uber, we'd probably talk about
We're
it.
going to see that tonight. Andy messaged me while we were out shopping, and he was like, "What are you and Brian doing tonight?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, we're podcast." Why? He's like, "How long is that gonna go?" And I'm like, "Usually like an hour, hour and a half, depending." And he's like, "Well, Haley just won 4 tickets to go see Rise of Skywalker. We're getting all dressed up. Do you and Brandon want to come?" I was like, "Dude, He's like,
Yeah, my Jetty was in the back seat.
yeah, we've got both of our Jedis here.
So you're leaving from here, going to go see the movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna
going to-
get changed in your bathroom.
Yeah,
Why do you have to say it like that?
because he has to.
Why do
He's
you even
weird.
have to say it
You
at
want me
all?
to do it in your living room? Hey, I'm gonna change in the living room. So if you guys want,
Why do you have to get changed at my place? Why couldn't you go, hey, Stefan, would it be all right if I get changed at your house? Not, I'm going to get naked over inside your bathroom.
I've
I
done
mean,
it before.
technically, isn't
That's
that
not.
what you
That
do
is
in a
not what
bathroom?
he said.
But still.
No.
But still.
No, no.
But
He-
still.
he
I have
said-
gotten naked plenty of times here.
For swimsuits.
Never mind. He ruined what I was gonna say.
I
He
don't
ruined
care.
it.
I
He
pushed it
ruined
that way. I got naked at Stefan's house. I had my dingling hanging out and touching the fresh air.
Not so fresh after that.
I've got no comment.
You know, all I was gonna say is that all you said was you went into the bathroom and you were going to change. That was it. No, you had to go and prove more to the point of the nakedness and being in his house.
Welcome to Brandon. Welcome to Brandon in all of his glory.
Hi, welcome to Brandon.
Yeah. Well, okay, so one of the things that, that has been going on with this whole Star Wars thing, and we haven't really talked about it too much. Like, I don't think that we've talked about The Mandalorian a little bit. Like, I've been losing my mind
No,
with this show.
everyone spoiled that. No one. There was no spoil filter when people were talking about Mandalorian. Everything I saw online, people were just going wicked.
See, right now I'm trying to figure what you're meaning and what not. Mainly just because like every like
just
the
with the
day
child.
after it always comes out, I just stop looking over on Facebook because it's usually just nothing but a bunch of new memes of Baby Yoda, or as my family calls him, Little Mikey. Okay. I'm glad that
Who are you to choose his name?
Yeah.
What gives you that right?
until they actually name this little creature, even giving me a species. I refuse to call him the name of another individual.
So,
Why
speaking
Mikey,
of
though?
names,
Just because it's something stupid.
so speaking
Do
of
you have an issue with Mikey's?
No, I love Mikey.
No, that's not what you just said. You just said that Mikey is a stupid name.
Yeah, I just gave.
Are
you
you
some
attacking?
stupid-
Are you attacking our potential audience
Yes,
that has
I
the
am-
name Mikey?
You know what? Firm stance. I am now here with you, telling you I hate Mikeys.
You know what?
If your name
I
is
am
Mikey,
sorry.
I'm done. I'm done.
I am
All-
sorry for all of the
I
Mikeys
can think
out
of
there.
is Mike and Ike's.
Mike or Ike's now.
I thought they got back together.
I think they did. I'm not 100% sure, honestly. It's been a little while since I've kept up
This
on
is a
that.
candy that I despise with my very being.
Why?
So do you prefer the Mikes or the Ikes?
I tried the Ike's and it got a little bitter, so I'm back with the
so
Mike's.
just like you.
That's fair. Well, he's got to balance it out. If it gets too
Well, I
bitter,
think
it's just gonna
Ike's did
destroy
the
it.
breakup to try and get something and lost. So
The whole fact that they separated was absolutely
Okay.
crazy
It was
in
a
my mind.
PR stunt. let's
left
be
left
honest.
side or right side of Twix?
I don't really like Twix, to be 100% fair.
It doesn't matter.
Do you say
it's
it-
the same thing
No.
from the right to the left.
The real debate is: do you say Reese's Pieces or Reese's Pieces?
I'm from New England, so it's Reese's.
Fuck you!
That's just a New England thing. It's Reese's.
No.
It's Reese's.
So-
No, if you go to New England,
Reese's.
everybody will pronounce it Reese's.
So if you've never
I've
had an Otter Pop,
Reese's.
it's Reese's.
Okay, I've had this conversation multiple times. There is no correct statement on it. It's just Reese's because
I am
this
very
is why
much-
she drinks.
I'm very much wishing this had alcohol in it right now.
You can't say that. You took away my not get like him and I never became drinking buddies because he had to stop drinking by the time we started really hanging out.
Well,
He was driving drunk, okay?
Okay, I'm just saying. Give me.
I like my coffee. Coffee's good.
No, I was talking with my friends, Haley and Andy, the two I just brought up, about just like all the people fighting about the name for Baby Yoda, and we were talking how we're like, well, if you look at the timeline, probably is Yoda and Yaddle's kid, if the two of the same species, or the two of the species things, right? I'm like, oh, so we've got Yoda, Yaddle, and they'll probably come out and say his name is like Yiddle or something.
Yikey.
No, no.
They would never name him that because yikes would become a new thing with him.
Have you ever had a baby? What's the first thing that goes through your mind? Yikes!
That's the first thing that went through my mind when I met Brandon.
and yet your brain still blocked it enough to go like, huh.
Yeah, and now I'm sitting here like, yikes.
I'm not gonna say, I can't really give you too much of a hard time. You just got me something, so I've got to. You've got 30 days of me being nice to you.
I haven't opened my something yet, so I still have the ability to go out and be mean and rude and everything.
Yeah,
I will take advantage of it.
See, there you go. There you go. See,
you can take advantage of me.
With all the Baby Yoda things going on, what's been your favorite Baby Yoda thing that you've seen?
The memes. So
Yeah,
driving down here, I was telling Carla, I was like, there's a meme that she put on my wall, and I was like, it was a perfect thing. It says, when you're in the zoom lane and the people in front of you aren't going zoom.
I have to say my favorite one is the Yum Yum time one, where it's Baby Yoda peeking his head into the fridge, and it's like at 3 a.m. when it's Yum Yum time. I absolutely died as soon as I saw that. It's made me want to go out and make memes just because of it. I've been on like the largest just creation trend lately.
The music one with the flipping the switch between the Mando and the baby.
See, like that's been my favorite so far. Whereas like the one that I think of the most, I believe I saw it first over on your wall, Carly, was the Baby Yoda loves Sandstorm. Okay, because ever since seeing that, like I went and watched that like one time and laughed. Then I put that on with my family being home and whatnot, and it's basically like first you've got the Mandalorian flying and it's like Christmas music and all that kind of stuff. Then all of a sudden Baby Yoda just sort of flips the switch and it's Darude's Sandstorm. He's like, that is so great. I'm just like, yes, and then all of a sudden he hits it. It's like Mandalorian hits it, goes back, then Baby Yoda hits it and he's like, stop playing with it and whatnot. And then like it's like Mandalorian kind of lets it go for a little bit, and then all of a sudden he does that kind of like no look part, and when he flips it, all of a sudden the bass drops. It's this more EDM version of it, and they just sort of like look up at each other and just let it ride, and I'm just like, yeah.
I have to say, just to show how popular this meme is, like I do not go on social media, and it's not that I necessarily hate it. It's just I have so many other things I'd rather be doing. I have been spammed continuously by people I haven't even talked to in years of just Yoda memes continuously. Just the Baby Yoda memes all the time. And I'm like, this is great. I haven't seen the show, but this is still phenomenal. And there's nothing that's not great about this.
There's one that I saw. I don't know if it's still too like early to say, but he hangs upside down at one point. Mm-hmm. And there was this, it says, he protect. He attack, but most importantly, he hang upside down like that. I was just like, that. But the driving around, or the flying one with the switch, there was one that was like, it was playing like, I think like the Nutcracker or something way calm, and they replaced it with Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas. So it's just playing, and it's just like the start of the song, and then it's just, he flips the switch, and it just goes. It's like when she is just in that song.
Love it.
It's just.
I'm gonna say probably one of my favorite ones so far is our artist recreation that we have here on our local team. Of do we have that out yet somewhere?
Made me laugh.
No,
because it was so great.
My mom.
It was so applicable.
No, my mom, Ethan. You have to tell Ray this. I was just laughing at her, and I showed it to her, and I'm like, "What's funny is she even got Brandon's big nose," and I zoomed in, and she goes, "That looks like a penis."
Okay.
The big nose.
Seeing that, which if you're wondering, we haven't posted that one over on the Crackbrain channel anywhere and all that. It was supposed. No,
she's posted on Twitter.
No,
but
Ray's posted it and whatnot. It was supposed to be January's print.
Yep.
But since we're going to be going through the big old change and whatnot, that one will actually just show up on the website. as well. So
Awesome.
since we're already
So
kind
it's me as the Mandalorian,
so
and Carly is a ginger baby Yoda. And it's the one where it's the Mando's sniping, and Carly's really into it.
I forget what you're saying specifically,
It's-
but she nailed
Yeah.
down.
No, it is so perfect. Like that face was just
face.
so great. That just like, yes, get it.
It says, "Come on, kill him, so I can steal his soul."
It's so great.
Like I said, the only thing that I could honestly think of, if
On
anything
sale
were
now.
going to be better, is
No, it's-
some like if you were actually firing at something. But I can't think of anything on the team.
No, we were trying to think of that, and there's just nothing that really could have been done. It was just perfect like that. Because then
Holiday
it leaves it up to
shoppers.
the mind of what you could be shooting at.
See, the only way that I think that it could have actually worked if Carly was still her person, and then anyone else on the team was the Mandalorian, and you were a Jawa.
Oh, that would be so good.
You would just be all of them too.
No, so he's building a Mandalorian for the Mercs and all that. And I'm just trying to get my feet wet in Rebel Legion with just fixing up my Jedi.
Wet.
Because I'm like,
She
well,
likes
I'm not
water.
really planning on doing anything until, if Rooster Teeth uses Infinite for Red versus Blue. I was like, that's really my next plan. So I was sitting there, I was like, I'm getting my thing right. And I'm like, Rebel Legion's fun, but how can I just completely screw with the Mandos? Because I know a lot of them. And then I watched that episode and I thought, "Otingi!" So I'm going to build a Jawa just to give the Mando shit to absolutely terrorize him and be in character. And I was telling one of my friends about it, and she says, Carly, if you build it,
They
I
come.
will 100% build you that giant woolly egg that you can just carry around screeching about. And I'm just like, I will gladly accept that.
See, hearing you talking about making a Jawa makes me want to go and make a Jawa just so I can run around people. Like, I will run around everywhere, everywhere. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to find Cole and just hug onto his leg and just be like, I'm going nowhere.
Please,
You know Cole would love it though. That's
I
the
know
thing.
he would.
No, Cole and Lene are pushing this now that I've told them.
Yeah.
They're just like, do it, 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 do it.
Well, Cole says do everything Star Wars. So.
Yeah.
That is fair.
Which I love.
No, if there's two things that if you mention, Cole will just go off about, and that is Star Wars and anything to do with
Godzilla.
Yeah, Godzilla.
That's it. Godzilla.
Anything.
And we love it.
Anything.
But
That
Yeah,
man
I
knows
told him-
everything when it comes to those.
I told him literally, I was like, yeah, I'm pretty much like wanting to build a Mando when I'm like not being burned out. And he was just like, huh? And
You know-
it's like, after 5 years of you harassing me about building a Mando, I finally say I want to do it. Like,
Right.
soon.
Has anyone ever had a conversation with them that wasn't about one of those two topics?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
I
in
did.
like, or
Dungeons
in
and Dragons.
okay,
Ruby.
because I feel like every time I've ever talked to him, like I'll try to talk to him, and it always comes up in conversation.
Actually,
That's all he goes about.
Well, no, because when I first met him, I met him at Bonsai because he was looking for people to share a room, and I would respond. I was like, hey. That's how I met him. So.
Okay.
And we were just talking because it was mostly just Ruby, and then he had a Mandalorian onesie, a Boba Fett.
Yup. Yup.
That is so great.
It's the same onesie that I think I've seen on 2 or 3 other occasions. Like, brought it out over to Texas, brought it to Bonsai.
Yup.
Yeah.
I just know seeing it's like, okay, yeah, Cole and I, we're gonna be sharing a room, and where's the onesie? I really want to go and get him a Godzilla onesie.
Do it.
Please,
You gotta get it-
It's
put a-
got to be
it's
the
got-
hooded ones.
It's
where
got to
just-
be a hooded one, and I need it to have a tail just so you can. It's like if the spine could light up, that would be great.
Oh, that would be. We could make that happen, though. We could make that happen.
We could.
Oh, I know.
And make it voice
about
act or have or a sound in it.
Why?
We could put LEDs in
Sorry,
it.
everyone's ears.
So, well, okay. So, in addition to all of these Star Wars things that have gone around, I'd say like as much as that craziness has gone on, I don't know what it's been with Utah this last week, but everyone has lost their goddamn mind.
More than normal.
Well, I mean,
More than
yeah, I was
normal?
gonna say.
Yeah, it's like
Utah's crazy.
well, okay, so like going through like Facebook and all that kind of stuff. I was sitting there just kind of during this week. I was getting ready for an audition, and all of a sudden saw an article that in the title it says Draper Rancherito man pees publicly in the kitchen. Okay.
It was in food prep area, not just the kitchen.
Exactly. Well, see, and
is
that's the thing.
great.
So, like, for anyone that's not familiar with rancheritos or anything like that, they're just
Mexican.
It's
Mexican fast food.
It's
It's-
almost as good as Beto's.
It's-
almost.
It's someone who's never cooked Mexican.
this hurts. Okay, it's a step above Taco Bell. All right. You shut your
No.
face.
In Centerville, there's a Taco Bell and a Rancherito next to each other.
That is fantastic.
I look. It's something where the food isn't
Ranch Doritos.
horrible.
Ranch
It's-
Doritos are the shit.
Okay,
Yes,
I'll
right
even
in a
sit there and be
Ranch
like, Ranch
Doritos
Doritos. All right, yeah, Ranch Doritos as a restaurant. That's basically the equivalency of this place.
Not the
and whatnot.
Cool Ranch. Ranch.
There's a regular Ranch Doritos.
No, but the
Okay,
Cool Ranch. like
It's
the
not
spicy
cool.
Ranch. Yeah.
It
Okay.
actually doesn't sound too bad. Like some
Yeah.
Doritos right in some ranch and
What's the matter with you?
The
you
salsa
can't
verde ones in
you
ranch.
cannot doubt something till you try it, right?
I
It's like
hate
pizza
ranch.
and ranch.
See, okay,
hate
that's
ranch.
fair. That's fair.
Pizza
You can't
and
then you
ranch.
can't judge that combination if you hate ranch in general.
It's just as bad as pineapple on pizza.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Hey.
whoa, 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 whoa. We are
Hey.
not going to start that topic because yes, thank you. We are
First
not
off,
going to start
fuck you,
this
Vol.
topic because
you
I
did?
actually like pineapple on pizza
Not him,
and it
though.
is there is a reason why it's good because it's a mix of sweet and salty, which is taste bud wise is generally good. Not everybody likes it though. It's not everybody's thing.
I'm not getting into this with y'all. Okay.
Hey, May. Lopez would dip his Doritos in ranch. Or not Lopez.
That seriously was a euphemism.
Simmons.
That's definitely a use.
I'll totally dip
euphemism.
my nachos in Wait, what am I
Thousand
trying to
Island
say?
dressing does not sound good on Doritos. You were very correct. That one does
Okay,
not sound like a good
back to
mixture.
the Rancho Cheese restaurant.
Rancho cheese.
Please, someone get a hold of their marketing team and just change everything.
Y'all done messed up. All right, you should be
I
called
don't know
Rancho
why,
cheese.
but when he said Rancho cheese, I immediately thought of like really Wild West Mando.
All I could think of was Rancho cheese.
My name is Rancho Cheese.
Y'all kill my dad. Prepare to die.
Where's the baby?
And
I
another
want to see
idea
the
has
baby.
spawned.
Okay, but back to this whole story. What ended up happening with this?
He got fired. It
Well,
got-
no. You gotta explain what
Okay.
happened.
So
Yeah.
like, and here's the way that I need to go and explain this and whatnot. Okay, so yeah, it's a cruddy like little Mexican restaurant type place. That like the day before the article came out, since I do Uber
it was
Eats,
day
I pick,
of.
No, shut up! I'm explaining a story.
Okay.
The day before the article came out,
Which is Saturday.
all right, I was driving around Uber and all that kind of stuff and whatnot, and I'll drive from like 6 at night over to like 2 in the morning and whatnot all the time. So it's something where like I'm used to going over to that place. There have been sketchy people there like from the get go, and I mean back behind the register of like you sit there and tell them like carne asada burrito, and it's like they'll just look at you like, huh?
Where's this one located?
So this one is in Draper. So Draper,
Okay.
like from where we are over here, maybe like
It's half hour away.
yeah, about half hour away.
Yeah.
Anyway, so like I'm really accustomed to this and whatnot. So all of a sudden, when the article comes out, there's video that goes with it. It's not just like article and nothing. If you go over on to KSL, like our news
Everyone.
channel and all that kind of stuff,
KSL.com.
you can go and see it and whatnot. And this dude is just over inside the back. They blur out his face, but you just sort of get this back view of him. Just sitting there going down and like you at first just looking, it's like he just turned around and then you just sort of see his hands go down and then the butt wiggle. And that's what I figured. I'm like, you could have sold this entire thing of like, you weren't really doing anything until all of a sudden you did the move that butt back and forth. I'm like, every man knows what you're doing right now. You're spelling your name.
The thing is, there was a bathroom not 10 feet away from him.
He's spelling rancho
You know there was
cheese.
one right there.
Yeah. See, and that's the thing. So like afterwards, they've come out like the entire time, like, okay, we shut it down. We had the health code kind of come back and through all that.
Deep clean the restaurant.
No, like the article came that day. The restaurant was shut down that day.
Yeah, it was shut down that day, and all that kind of stuff. Well, last night I had to go back out over to that Rancherito for another delivery.
Oh, no.
And they've now stated like right there in front of the cash register, like, this entire facility has been triple cleaned since,
they had to
since Monday.
They had to throw everything out, retrain everyone, fire that guy.
That place literally smells like Lysol. Like before it was like, oh, people cook here. Now it's like, I think that this is a restaurant or a hospital. Could be either one. Okay, because it's ridiculously clean. The only bad part about this is I still work in pest control, so I will still sit there and be like, oh, you guys still have roaches, though. So I'm not telling you that you shouldn't go there, but...
Well, the person that ordered...
That's why you
was like, hey, they just had a clean blah, blah, blah. Guy was peeing. I'm going to order again.
Yeah, that dude did order twice, but you have to sit there like, if you... Like, okay, look, I'm not going to sit there and... If someone were to go and pee in the same area as my food, I'm going to tell y'all right now, I'm still the kind of degenerate that'll be like, you didn't piss on my food, I can still eat it. I've got kids, all right? I've had much worse in my face and in my mouth, all right? What I will say is that would be my gut reaction of like, okay, cool, and then go back out. That dude made the second lap around like, okay, that food was good. I'm going to go again. It's like, no. Rash decision. Cool, we can let you get away with that. Not the second go round. The return is where you mess up as a human.
Man, it's always that moment though. You're like, damn it, I forgot to get fries. I gotta make that second spin. I need to make that second spin.
Right.
You can't leave without getting those fries.
You
Wait,
could.
they have fries there?
Yeah, carne asada fries.
Oh,
way
so
good.
good. So
Yeah.
good.
Rancho cheesy fries?
Cheesy,
Different.
yes.
Very
Rancho,
different.
no. But it's basically like their number one item. Like every single time I have to go
Carne
do like an
asada
Uber
fries
Eats.
burrito.
Yeah,
Yeah.
every Uber Eats order that goes over to a Rancherito is like carne asada fries.
Yep.
That's always what I see on there.
They're way good though.
Yeah.
I'm never
I
gonna
mean,
eat
I
there.
generally get it from Beto's instead because
You need to
Beto's
stop.
You like
they don't
Beto's.
they don't
Stop.
piss in their kitchen.
You need
so
to stop. You are so horrible. All right.
for all of you that don't know, they're basically the same thing. They have the exact same menus. I'm wondering if they're owned by the same people and they just throw two names out there because
Maybe that
Yeah,
guy.
La Fountain and La Frontera.
It's
Yeah.
so bad.
Apollo
They're
burger,
both
Crown burger,
bad.
Stone
All
burger.
right.
See, I grew up in a place where Mexican food was Taco Bell, so my judgment is completely different than all of yours.
But
When it-
your
okay,
taste buds.
I haven't had good Mexican food, so I
But
can't
that's
judge.
that's why you should
Yeah,
now.
he
at
was
least.
as far
But, like,
from Mexico and the U.S. as possible.
You're not.
That is
no,
fair.
no.
Continentally.
Oh,
Continental,
okay.
yes. Yeah. I mean, being the most
Continentally
northern
is a big
state.
word for you.
Actually, I wonder distance-wise, it might be just about the same because the connection is way west. So
Okay, someone
it
Google
might be
that.
the same. It might be nearly the same as Alaska. Someone fact check that for me.
I want to punt you so
Please.
hard right now.
I don't think you can punt it as far as Maine.
I am nearly just mentioning it, okay? I'm not saying that it is or isn't. You give me French food, I can tell you right off the bat whether it's good or not. You
See-
give me some American...
See, Southern
it.
California is
Even
pretty close to
Italian.
Mexico, so they're gonna have good Mexican.
Hey, does Central California have good Mexican food? Because I might be going there after the holidays.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, so,
Aren't
like,
you cool?
even where I grew up,
I
over
am
in
cool.
Orange County, there's still some really great places.
Do they make good orange chicken there?
What?
Orange County.
I had Chinese food last night too, so he's all, and I forgot to bring home the egg rolls apparently from my
You were
friends.
the worst.
I thought I
you
grabbed
are-
it. I literally
you are
grabbed
the
like all the
worst.
food, and then he's like, "You forgot it," and I'm like, "Well, at least I got the pun chicken." That
But you
shit's
forgot the egg rolls. Like,
Seriously, does Orange County have good orange chicken?
Why would Orange County in California have really good Chinese?
Because it's closer to
Specifically-
China than it is Utah.
he's
And it has the
there.
word
He's
orange
got
in
you
it,
there.
so they have fresh oranges.
Does he?
He's got you there.
Did
Fresher.
you know that orange chicken is Americanized Chinese?
Yeah, that's why I'm asking if it's pretty good there in America, because California, Orange County, California is in America.
And then you throw that it's closer to China.
It is closer to China than it is from Utah.
So it has no correlation though.
See, we have good salt content.
Do we?
Yes.
Yeah, see, May's got my back. May has got my back.
I will tell you this: it's just as good there as it is here.
Well, okay,
No,
but
but
on
May, this
the
place-
same topic, poutine is not French, yet it is labeled as a French food. So if we're getting on
French
that
fries
topic,
are not
but
French either.
no, that's
Same with
completely
French
different. Just
kiss.
because it says French doesn't mean it's French. But poutine is not only labeled as a Canadian food, but also as a French food, and it is the furthest from a French food because they
Well,
look
is
at
it
that and say
Canadian?
it's disgusting. It's very Canadian.
Well, half of Canada is French.
It's a lot different.
Am I
It's
wrong?
it's they just because they speak French does not mean they are French.
I'm not wrong.
I don't know.
The Canadian French language is completely different from regular French. Even the accent's different.
Just like Utah English is way different than New Jersey English.
That's a dialect, son. That's a dialect.
They speak different words.
Hey, May, if you want to know what it's like after Wash got shot in the throat, you're looking at it.
I'm not denying it.
I don't know what to say, y'all. All I will say is that Orange County, there's a couple of really good Mexican food places, some really good Chinese. No, I don't have a good Chinese place now that I think about it because they closed.
Because you said
Good Japanese food.
Oh,
and some
ramen.
good Korean food.
see,
What's up?
because it's closer
Can I
to.
speak?
You are oddly racist.
I'm just
Fine,
saying it's
racial.
closer. I'm just saying it's closer than it is from
He
Utah.
does have you there. If you're gonna make the reference that Mexico is closer to
Maine
here,
boy, you don't have
then-
much ground to stand on either.
If you want good, authentic Chinese, I mean, they have the Americanized Chinese too. Literally, Red Maple, this place that we went to last night, so good. Like, their Americanized Chinese stuff, but then it's like, I was literally looking at the menu, and it was like, Peking duck, and I was like, I haven't had that since I was in China. Okay. This is legit, but it's owned by an actual Chinese family. I think they're like second generation.
I wouldn't know because someone forgot the egg rolls.
We can go tomorrow. They do on Sunday nights. They have a dim sum night.
but it's
I'm
not
dim.
egg.
That's my intelligence level is dim.
You didn't get him egg rolls today, though. That's your
That would have
problem.
been yesterday,
E-
actually.
even yesterday. That's even worse.
But I got the egg rolls, so it's okay.
Egg rolls tomorrow are not egg rolls today.
Egg or egg not.
I want that on a shirt. I want that on a shirt. You
I'll work
make
on
a
it.
shirt.
I'll work on it.
I get to be the model since he was yelling at me about it.
I will work on it.
And you can use my egg rolls as the artwork.
Oh God, I just want to see that again somewhere else.
What, wait, you want to see my egg rolls again?
No.
I never saw your egg roll.
wow.
There we go.
Someone wrote out a paragraph.
Dude,
Yeah.
sushi burritos are so weird. I don't know how I feel about them.
They're
Like,
good.
They're good, but they're weird.
I have convention sushi burritos and they're pretty good.
Oh, hey. On
Oh.
the 26th, if I decide to go to work, you should come up to work around lunchtime because they have a ramen truck coming up.
On the 26th.
That's a Thursday.
Yeah, if I go back to work. I only want to go back to work so I can get a ramen truck, but
I mean that all depends on Tiff's work schedule. So, yeah.
Ooh, cheesecake sounds good.
I almost got cheesecake
Wait,
today.
wait. Whenever Ray wants sushi, I just eat the cheesecake. I'm
confused.
So confused.
Yeah,
I am so confused.
I'm not understanding that one.
Well,
There's a reason
is-
Ed and Brandon get along so well.
Is
I'm
it a
kidding.
sushi burrito thing or?
Sushi burritos is good.
Just like how cheesecake is not actually a cake. Sushi burrito is not actually sushi.
Okay.
I've seen this
Okay.
debate.
And it's not.
Imagine.
Hey,
Okay.
it's not Mexican either.
Ow.
Oh.
It's.
I'm not getting into this. I'm not getting into this.
I know.
It's
I was
closer to
watching-
sushi than it is to Mexican.
I can't. Oh,
So,
God
so
damn
is,
it.
is a sushi burrito just a larger roll, or is it?
Yeah.
So
much.
it's wrapped in seaweed. So you've got your meat, your rice, your spicy mayo. If you have crab or avocados, and they roll it
They have cheesecake
Like-
at the sushi place.
in seaweed, and it's like a burrito.
Okay.
Hence burrito. Sushi burrito.
At face
So
value,
they're just using burrito as the terminology. It's not necessarily
No,
a
look at
burrito.
this.
Yeah, it's not Mexican.
no, like
It's good.
this is what
I
they look
like
like.
the,
Okay, so
the
it's just
one
a really
that
big
they
sushi
make
roll.
at
Basically.
Oh, okay.
FanX is good. I get it all the time. It doesn't give me the poops. It fills me up.
why was that a qualifier? Why was that a
Because
qualifier?
No,
if
no.
it gives me the poops, that means it's bad.
This is a perfect time, Eb. We will no longer compare you. There's no comparison to Brandon.
Yeah.
Brandon is
Yeah.
Brandon.
She
No
can-
one compares.
Eb can totally go lower, squat into in a cool pose. When I do it, you hear crack, 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 and then I can't get back up.
I love how this first go-to
I'm
is
a
squatting.
Kremlin!
Who squats
Oh my
better,
God.
Eb or Brandon? This needs to be a new
Totally, Eb.
competition.
We have a picture of it from when we were
Yeah.
hanging out with
no,
Eb in
no.
California.
Can we just do a new one where it's just like you in your suit, just like you squatting, and it's like, do you even squat? Just
No,
You
cracking
can't
knees.
squat in those.
I can. Some of the testing we did, we wanted to make sure we could teabag in both sets of armor.
That is fair.
And yeah, you could teabag. That's one of the qualifying things of a good suit of armor is if you can teabag.
How many times does someone need to print out armor to sit there and be like, I can't get low enough to put my ball sack over on this dude's helmet. It's not good armor unless I can throw my sack on his facial region.
It's like some
Why
suit.
is that a thing?
I
Because
just want
that's
to
what
see.
you do in Halo.
I just want to see like a lineup and some suit critic coming by and being like, no, he can't teabag well enough in that. That obviously isn't good enough armor.
I'm just mad you can't teabag and fire Team Raven. Halo.
I know,
Arcade game?
but I'm sitting there trying. Like you could be a punk and kick someone off the gun next to you, and then just squat down over inside their face. So
Well,
what?
then we could meet
May
you all.
might be going to RTX 2020 wants to meet us all.
Yeah.
There is
Yay!
a shot though.
Hey, I'll see you there perfectly.
Maybe in
I should be going.
one of our videos that I wanted to recreate it just as is as a photo, but I'm like, it's one of May's photos. I have to show you. It's so pretty. It's a Carolina one.
Yeah, I'm definitely about it, and I will definitely say this much. For
I'm approving
What
that
is that
comment.
comment? What
I
is this
approve.
comment?
I love that.
What happened? What did you do
Brandon,
now?
This is why you
what
need
did
to
you
go to
do
RTX.
to a teddy bear?
Oh my god.
That's the thing.
Is teddy bear a person or is this an actual teddy bear? That's the
Brandon,
real question.
What did you do to a teddy bear at RTX?
Is that what we're calling Carly? Is a teddy bear?
No. Read the damn comment.
Yeah, I fucked that teddy bear at RTX. And we're calling you teddy bear.
No, we're not.
And
See, now all I can think about, did you bring Max along?
No.
And did you get all up in Max?
God.
no. The year before, I did bring Max. We were gonna scare you.
Oh, I know. No.
No. He hasn't experienced Max
I know
yet.
he hasn't experienced Max.
I hope
That's
he
why I
never
said
has
no.
Hey, I gotta get in the mood for the voice.
You're never gonna get in the mood for a voice.
Max is a demented little teddy bear monkey thing. All right, it's a Sesame Street reject that we found at one point,
It's like
or it belongs to him.
this
belongs
teddy
to me.
bear is, or this.
I bought it
puppet
at
is older-
Gatorland over 20 years ago.
This puppet is older than me.
That's great. Well, I mean, most of
Okay.
Sesame Street is older than me, so
Let's see.
be fair.
Last year we had Max on one of the Crack Tube vodcasts. We
I'll
had
show
it
you
in a
what
Fractured
Max is.
Friday wrap up, which
Yeah.
scared the crap out of me because we had just filmed Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, we're literally like laying there getting ready to go to bed, and he had his camera stand, and I think he just had to get
My
up to go to
tripod,
the
and I had
bathroom.
Max on the tripod.
Yeah, and he had to get up to go to the bathroom, and he walks up, and I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I just hear this, "Ah!" because he walked right by and saw the eyes just blankly staring at him and thought it was an animatronic.
Yeah,
That's great.
maybe you should go and put Max away somewhere
No, this was like
forever.
no. He's in my RTX bag, ready to go. I think I brought him the bonsai one year because we were gonna do something too.
Put Max away.
I will show you what Max is, May. And
generally
I'm sorry
I
for
do
it.
love
Don't put me
terrifying
away.
things, so this sounds like a great time.
It's
because I will love setting
You
it up in
know
places
less
that'll scare the
terrifying
fuck out
and
of
more
you.
frighteningly
Okay, so-
awkward.
Stefan,
I'm bringing him.
Stefan, you know Max is a triplet, right?
No.
Yes.
We'll bring.
There's two more Maxes.
That was
We'll
the
bring 'em.
whiniest terror
So-
I've ever
so-
heard.
When you're sleeping at RTX, you feel something fuzzy.
It's usually his pubes.
Something might start talking to you.
Let's hope it's not your pubes.
I'm Max. I just saw you sleeping there. It was so wholesome just
I'm not
watching
even
you.
laughing at him anymore.
It was just beautiful. I didn't want to wake you, but I had to say hello. Hello.
This is what we had to deal with for like 8 months. It was horrifying.
That's not even the
It's
actual
great.
voice. I gotta get him on my hand, and then his voice
Okay,
comes
I kind of
out.
want to do a live reaction right now if I can find it.
Like I said, it's something where it would be better if it was live.
So if you look up the titles of the Crack Tube podcast, the title is "Your Face Ran Out of Toner." I think that's what it is.
That's great.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Because Candace was saying how my face looked like it ran out of toner because it's darker on one side going to
'Cause it's
lighter.
tan.
You got that I've been driving tan, where it's just the one side?
Yep.
Kind of, that's what it was.
Yep.
It's a whole thing.
It was great.
We need to film like a reaction video or something.
Or-
I mean, we're definitely going to be doing a lot more stuff, in the future with reactions and just a lot more of just like behind the scenes kind of like what it's like to
He said
be around
behind.
us.
I put my hand up, Max is behind.
Well then.
You just work them like a little puppet.
Oh, I bet he
That's
does
what
work
it
'em.
is a puppet.
Really genius.
Turns out he's not actually.
So
a
what's
puppet.
happening at the end of the month, Stefan?
As I'd kind
year.
of mentioned, shut. What I'd kind of mentioned earlier during the episode is that we're gonna be doing a whole lot of updates to our website. It's been something that I've wanted to do probably for like almost
10
like
years?
a year and a half, 2 years at this point, because we started talking about it right before we went over to RTX in 2018 about changing up the website. So finally going to be going and getting that done. I've already been doing a bunch of other stuff. And what is going to happen as a consequence is that next Saturday, we'll still do the podcast, but pretty much like right before the podcast, the entire website's going to go down. So I'm going to close it down for a little bit. That's basically just to make sure that when we do start the new updated site, that everything will work right. And all that next week is going to be nothing but like trial testing everything. It's like breaking into my own website, like what happens if I do this and whatnot. So
I like breaking stuff. I can help you with that.
yeah, I'm totally down for that. And you guys already know about some of the features and whatnot. If you
Features.
if you were one of our Patreon backers, you know a little bit more of some of the specifics that will be going into it. But I've been really looking forward to this. Some of the things that we stopped doing a long time ago, we stopped because I wanted to find out how to do them better, and they will be implemented back on the site. So a lot of our resources, rather than being as diversified as they were, they're all going to kind of come right back over to the website and over to YouTube. So I'm actually like really looking forward to that.
And
part.
I can call all the backers crackheads.
I've seriously been debating about what to call, like, you know, like our
Crackers.
Patreon
Supporters.
backers are like, so like one of the things that
For all you
is,
crackheads out there.
Well, we can't
Yeah.
say crackers.
yeah, you're what?
Hey, crackers! Welcome to this time where we're talking about Mexican food.
Yeah. So like some of the things that I was like,
Demonetized.
I was always wondering about, like with Patreon, is like, what should we call our, you know, our Patreon backers and whatnot? I think at one point I'd called them all like psychos and was like, that's weird.
What does Charlie call her, like, Twitcher?
I don't think she does.
I
call
don't think
them
she
anything.
necessarily calls them
Yeah.
Her
anything.
Charlie Manders?
No, she doesn't. Like, she doesn't call hers anything really. Like, she just it's a chat in her audience and her community and things
Yeah.
like that. And there are a lot of people that just don't do that, you know. And I kind of held on to that. It's like, because nothing really came to mind. Like, I didn't want to call them crackheads. I didn't want to call them
brainiacs.
crackers. I kind of thought about that for a little bit. I'm still kind of going back and forth, but like,
and the brain.
you gotta quit saying that.
It really has to fit the theme of whatever it is that you have, and I feel like that's such a hard thing to meet sometimes because it just honestly doesn't always fit with what you are. So.
Exactly. So
May,
that's
this
what-
is why I love you.
Yeah, it's like that's why we'll probably figure something.
The tiers or
It's-
the different names.
Well, I mean, honestly, it's no longer really gonna be a thing. So, like, one of the things that is gonna be coming out is, even though we are getting rid of our Patreon, our website actually will have specific customer accounts that you guys can set up, and we actually will still have a subscription service going through the website. So, if you've been really liking the art prints, those are still going to be available. You just don't have to go to Patreon.
Kill him so I can steal
I think
his
there's. You
soul.
said
If we can
there's-
do it through one source, we're gonna try to do it. 'Cause
Yeah.
it just makes everything so much easier for everyone.
Yeah,
Exactly.
one-stop shop.
It's like there'll be that, and then I guess I can go and talk about this part as well, since we're pretty much in the same vein. So like, we'll actually be opening up the Cracked Brain store again. Before we had it over on Shopify, which honestly was actually pretty good. There were a couple of errors and a couple of things that I really wish didn't kind of happen, but we're actually going to be bringing that back. And instead of having to go to like Shopify, .com/crackedbrain, it's just going to be on our website. And it's literally everything is going to be housed in our website. And subscribers to the website will be getting a discount on all purchases made in the store. And
Don't use.
You heard that? A discount.
yes.
I like
and,
discounts.
and like one of the coolest parts is like we've been actually working on different like art and things like that. So rather than just getting like the Crack Brain T-shirt, we'll actually have other stuff for you guys.
Yeah.
There's
So when we
Egg
say
rolls.
that we want these as T-shirts, we really do mean it. So I know we already have 2 that I have done. I know
Yeah.
Ray's working on another one right now. I think she's actually working on 2,
Well, you have a third one to work on.
and then now I have a
Egg
3rd
rolls.
one. So
Egg rolls.
so,
Let's all just go get egg rolls after this.
we gotta
Why
move,
not?
go
it's
to.
it's not necessarily anything wrong with Etsy. Etsy's just kind of it's just another source we have to go to.
Exactly. It's like one of the biggest
One-stop
things
shop.
to go and do is just to have everything in one central location. So
Yeah, you can
you know,
watch our
if you're
videos,
watching the videos on the site, then
listen to our
you want to
podcast,
use
Quietcast, Crack Brain Podcast.
exactly. It's like have everything in one spot rather than having to go like, oh, if I want to buy something, I've got to go to Etsy, and if I want to listen to the podcast, I got to go somewhere else, and if I want to watch one of the videos, I got to go. You can literally get everything that you want, Cracked Brain wise, from the website.
Except for smacking me.
And
That's not available.
I do have to say that the new resource we're using is way more friendly with the products we're trying to put out. So
Yeah. So
May wants to know if you commission artists to do prints or if we just draw them ourselves.
So our artist Ray actually does our main commissions. Well, not really commissions. Our main
Yeah.
arts that we are that we offer as prints.
Yep.
But I will say this: I'm always fine with finding other artists and and seeing what we can do. Like Ebb is actually
is wrong.
Hey,
I don't
hey.
do art in MS Paint.
There is nothing wrong with MS Paint. There's actually an amazing artist who does a comic book series. If any of you have seen it, if you haven't, literally just look up MS Paint comic. It is phenomenal. This man does it pixel by pixel for his art.
But yeah,
There are better resources, but it is good.
So yeah, like I'm always on the hunt for, basically other people that I always find interesting and stuff like that. So like I was just saying, Eb is actually doing the logo art for the new podcast that I'll be producing next month as well. So yeah, that's actually been cool. And she just sent me a sample of what I had asked her to make, and then showed me her own version of it. So much better than what I'd ever thought of. I was like, hey, okay, the alternate is so much better.
I have to
It
say,
just does that.
Yeah.
It's
Like-
that British intuition.
no, it's one of those things I've always had an issue with when it comes to doing art or any productions like that. Is if you're working with someone who's not open to changing up their original idea, it's so much harder because you have artists like Eb who probably are like, this could be done better. Let me do that as well and show that.
Exactly.
Thankfully, you're one of those people who is like, no, definitely do that.
Well, as much as I'm always married to whatever idea that I have, I always want to listen to other people just because, like, oh, it might be funny in my head, and I might be able to make other people laugh with it, or I might, be able to do something with it, but that doesn't mean it's the best it can be.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's one of the reasons why, even when we're sitting there creating stuff, I'll be like, hey, I've got an idea for this, and then it's like, okay, it's great. Does anyone have any ideas to make things better? And
No, like
That's-
literally though.
Insert penis joke.
That's why they always teach you when you're working on especially like logos and stuff like that to just make a bulk quick design idea of like 100 and then you trim down from there and then work from those because it's like there's always variation of better spots you can do it in.
your face says that you want to
Yes.
say something.
I want Max on a shirt.
But we'll think about it.
We'll think about it. I'll
We'll
have to
think
get you a
about
plan.
it. I'll put it this way: you draw it, we'll think about it.
In MS Paint, please.
Have Max in front of a computer using MS Paint. There you go, Brandon. I'll put it. I'll use it as a sticker.
I'm
Yeah,
Max.
literally anytime like I have Eb draw something, I'm like this, and then she comes out with this amazing thing, like that Sergeant Carolina and Red Team picture that she drew.
Yeah.
I was totally like, hey, how about this? And then she did that, and it still keeps getting reblogged. And that was like what, 4 months ago that she drew it. Now I'm like, how do you do that?
Yeah, it's always a thing, and trust me, Eb, when you say like you're always open if you need help, I'm telling you right now, there's a reason why I asked you to go and do that because I've got ideas. So
Barbara is also always open.
who?
Stefan.
Barbara
Who?
Dongelman,
Oh, okay. Well,
That
I don't
was
have her contact.
always
information.
always open. That's her show.
I hate you.
Stefan. Stefan.
Yes.
You're matching something behind you.
Oh, that's too great. That is the perfect color match right there. Are you saying that you're trash right now, sir?
Feel good about yourself, Brandon?
It literally does
Feels
just
good.
look like a continuation of your shirt behind you. Like you've just got a hood like you're holding up in the background. But before we get off the topic, I think we should give a shout out to our local friend and
Yes.
streamer, Charlie Manders, because she just, or Charlie Menderes as it's been put before.
wait, Charlie Menderes.
Charlie Mander.
Charlie,
that on her
Charlie,
stream?
Charlie Mendez, Charlie Menderes. It's been put a couple of different ways, and it's always funny. But no, Charlie. After I think she's been streaming for 2 years, just got her partnership.
Yeah, and I think it was like a day or two after her actual 2-year anniversary.
Yeah, no, it was like perfect timing too. It was so great. I'm so happy for her because she definitely deserves it. What she streams like 6 days a week for
Yep.
I think it's like usually around 5 or 6 hours. So no, it's awesome.
Yeah, and that was something where like earlier earlier, was it like last month or the month before, she had actually put in the application to be a partner,
Yep.
and it got rejected.
Yeah, it was such a
So-
disheartening thing when that happened.
Yeah.
You're like, come on, like what the fuck?
Yeah, so I definitely want to go and say, like a good congrats over to Charlie. If you haven't checked out any of her streams, definitely go and do that. I know that I usually have a really good time, and you can almost about 9 times out of 10 you can go and find me somewhere over inside her chat sometime during the night.
Yep.
I now kind of get this thing where I just sort of cycle through all of my friends' streams and
Yeah,
whatnot. I'll just
yep.
be like, and I'm gonna jump into this one, jump into that one, and don't forget.
No, so you're doing backflips into them.
Yes,
Hey.
that backflip guy. Yeah, so many people have made comments about that. So
That Uber guy now.
no, I'm still gonna go with the backflip guy, because it's said so many times over at cons in reference to me. And there was even like earlier this week, I jumped into Andy Blanchard's former employee of Rooster Teeth, and Michael Jones was there too. And all of a sudden I was like, oh, no, said something. And then all of a sudden they're like, that backflip guy, wait a second, how many backflips can you do? And we're just all of a sudden having this like 5-minute conversation just about backflips. I'm like, I realize it's just a thing now.
See, I wanna like just start introducing people to you, and they're gonna be like, who is this guy? Like, he looks so familiar, and you're gonna do a backflip in front of me, like, I know you.
No, honestly, what it would be is I would do a backflip and they'd be like, "Awesome!" I still don't know who you are, but now I've got something to remember you by.
They're like, man, I wish I knew him. Damn.
yeah, kind of a thing. So, yeah, like it's
Woo.
there's a whole lot of things where like I've really liked seeing a bunch of people really succeeding, and even seeing our own artist Ray, take more of a command with her own Twitch channel, and
She's up to, last I checked, she's at 47, 3 away from affiliate. Yep.
that if you're listening, if you're watching, I don't care what you're doing.
Yep.
Go on over to Twitch.
Gamma Ray's channel.
Okay, it's Game. I keep on
Gamma
saying.
Rays. Yep.
Okay, all right. For a second, I thought you said
Dude.
Game Array. Yeah, I'm all like.
Fair.
But yeah, Gamma Ray's channel, all one word.
Yeah, she actually might still be streaming. She started at like
She is.
3 o'clock, so
Even though posting like, I still feel under the weather. I'm not sure
Yeah.
if I'm going to. Yeah, you start streaming and it's like, I don't feel sick anymore. And then all of a sudden the camera goes off. I feel horrible.
yep. That's the worst.
So, but yeah, I mean that's just sort of how that thing goes. So, I mean that's we're pretty much coming up over on time and whatnot. Anything you guys wanted to go and say other than Charlie's making partner? No.
I'm
Anybody else?
Charlie Mander. That's what I'm gonna call her. Charlie Mander.
Yeah, she responds to that.
I should call her Char Char.
Char.
Yep.
There you go. So like I said, definitely tune back in. I'm about 97% sure that we're still going to be back next week for another live stream. Sorry that the internet keeps on doing weird things. We hopefully will have that fixed in a couple weeks.
The internet.
Interweaves
Yep.
is weird.
It's a whole thing.
Everyone's streaming Mandalorian.
You're not wrong.
Damn it.
So yeah, like definitely check back in for next week's episode over on Saturday, 6 p.m. on the Crack Brain YouTube channel, and then
Mountain
look
Standard
out.
Time.
I believe January 4th is when the Cracked Brain website will relaunch, and I really want you guys to be able to go and see what we're going to be doing. It's going to look and work a whole lot different. So
Speaking
Yeah.
of July, what are you gonna do at 4th of July?
I'm
You'll be
planning on being in
RTX.
Texas. Yeah. So
Do
I
backflips.
In Tucker.
definitely not.
Yeah.
Definitely
With-
not
with-
Tucker.
With Felix got a sword to your throat.
No, and I don't even know if I can do a backflip in I'm actually working on Marrow. I don't think he can do a backflip either because
better be.
You
able to.
you don't know till you try. Hey, for everybody else has the squat test, but you need the backflip test. If you can't backflip,
It's
you
not
can't
armor.
wear the armor.
you go to hell. There you go. So thank you guys for joining me on this episode. Check us back next week, and until then, we'll talk to y'all later.
Don't pee on your
See you
food.
later.
Boy.
Don't. That's not for them. Like I said, they
Piss apples.
they.
Piss.
car. Don't get in my way.
Onions coming back over here.
There we go. Thank you.
Right.
Somebody chop up a mushroom, please. Come on, go past me. Go past me. Thank you.
I think you're talking to the wrong one of us.
You're blue, right? Yeah. Okay, somebody give me an onion.
Mushroom.
Somebody give me an onion.
Who's got an
Here's an onion.
I am sandwich.
You guys have nothing but mushrooms, Ray. That's not an onion. Someone grab the tomato, please. Somebody, it's gonna catch on fire. Oh my god, it's on fire.
Wait. Okay, hold on.
Somebody put an onion in here, please.
Come around.
Come on.
There,
It's on fire.
everything's on fire.
Everything's on fire.
Come around. Fire's out.
Okay, mushroom. We don't need this mushroom. Why is there more mushrooms? Put it in the bowl. Put it in the bowl. Put it in the bowl.
Right, put it in the bowl.
Thank you. Okay, everybody get the fuck out of my way. Get the fuck out of my way. Get the fuck out of my way. Ray. That's me. I'm trying to get by. You know what? I'm washing dishes. Yeah. You guys cook. Okay, why did you take my plate? Yes, put it in the sink. Put it in the sink. Thank you. Now move. Thank you. I don't know how we've only had one dirty dish because we only have one dish go out. Put it down.
As I'm running around over here going like,
Okay, you guys are cooking now. We don't want to Tyler, move. Tyler, go down. Tyler, go
don't
down.
you? I swear to God.
Okay, I'm just gonna chop things.
Put onion over inside
Oh my god!
potatoes.
Ray! Ray, you put onions and mushroom together! That tastes disgusting!
Monster. They go together.
No, they don't!
Look at the recipe up in the top left corner. Come on.
Okay, we're definitely failing this map. We're gonna have to do something.
Hold on.
Ray! Okay, we need tomatoes. There's no fucking pots!
Yeah, had to go through it. Okay, alright. Here's what we're gonna try to do. No, okay, then stop being so yelly. Like, okay, here's what we're gonna try to do. A little bit more order. Less yelling. Alright, how about this? Tyler. No, hold on. Tyler, you're on tomatoes.
No. We need to organize it by section. So
Yeah,
someone needs to
section.
get top left section. Someone needs to get bottom left section.
Okay, if we want to do it that way,
Okay.
then do you want to, Ray, do you want to go and actually wash dishes? Sure. Alright, Ray washes dishes.
I will grab ingredients and bring them to Tyler.
You will grab ingredients, you chop ingredients, and I will cook.
Okay.
I didn't know Candace hated me so much.
I can't believe it took you this long.
Alright,
Okay.
so I'm going down to the cook station.
Okay, go to your cook station. Tyler, go down to the chop station. I will bring you. We need onions first. I'm grabbing what I can. Okay, I got an onion. There you go. Another onion.
Yeah.
There you go. And I got another onion. And then I will bring some mushroom. We need tomatoes.
Ray is now making me so happy. Like Ray going like back and forth, back and forth.
There's some tomatoes. I'm gonna get my mushrooms out, but I think we're gonna fail that one.
Alright. Got that. And then Ray, if you complete that one. Tap. There you go. Look at that. Tomatoes be cooked. To the heat. I'm not doing this song.
After the tomatoes are cooked upon, you need to start cooking those mushrooms. Mushrooms. Tyler has like 6 mushrooms.
I need plates down there. Okay, is it me or did we actually get worse?
We did get worse.
Without the screaming and yelling, we're worse.
Yeah.
It's probably because the customers
It's because they were getting cooked out of order. Someone's like, I know how to cook, and then he cooks like the thing we don't need.
I'm gonna go right back to my space.
I'm going to get on top. Tyler, you get on top and do this. Okay. So we're starting with I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. Okay, Ray, there's a plate. Send that out. It's called French onions. I need one more tomato. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. And then the mushrooms can get started. Oh, Tyler, let me grab that. Thank you. Tomato soup is ready. Going out.
There we go.
Ray, send that out, please. Thank you. Tomato sauce is cooking. Plate. Mushroom soup going out, Ray. Thank you. Yes, there is a spoon. Actually, I don't know if this is I don't think this is a good map for Springfield because there's so good markets in this place. Okay, I need a plate. Thank you, Ray. See, I don't need to scream when people are doing their jobs. Mushroom soup going out. Oh, you're not crying yet.
Yeah, but it's not chopping the onions.
I need a plate. Thank you.
God damn it.
Thank you. Leave it there. Leave it there. Thank you. Okay, onion soup going out. I need.
God damn it.
Add some mushrooms. Oh shit. Can I? There we go. You can fix things. Okay, now the mushroom can go. Just leave it there. Thank you.
Tomatoes. I know my freaking man. I was about to say
Mushrooms are like tomatoes.
Oh my gosh, why can't I pick that up? Oh shit. There we go. Okay. Mushroom soup is ready when you are, Ray. Thank you. Gosh. I am losing my mind right
We're not even doing anything bad.
now. No, it's
There's too much water.
okay. Okay, last tomato. Thank you. I'm getting you right to it. Thank you. Oh shit.
There's nothing soothing about what's going on
Okay,
right now.
there's some
people from Vocaloid.
Thank you.
like, I'm super interested. Dude, okay, there it is. I'm really interested in it, and like the story and what's going on. It's super freaky. I'm sure that friendly robot has such good intentions. Yes, yes it do.
Cortex chip.